On day 1, I found a village. I looted it. It was pants. Their iron golem looked at me funny, so I punched him. He punched me back, which almost killed me. Luckily, I survived and came out victorious, walking away with 5 iron, which I used to make some shears and spent the rest of the day gathering wool so I could make beds in hopes of increasing the village's population. It was getting late, so I went to sleep. The next morning, I got right to work, crafting and placing beds all over the village. Then I went out to find myself a decent place to call home. That took all day, but I mined some iron and then went to bed. On day 3, I cleared out my cave a little bit. When I was done, this is how it looked. Then I started working on a little project, but I ran out of wood. I spent the rest of the day chopping trees, and then went to bed. Day 4, I continued to work on my project. It needed stone, so I expanded my cave. I found more iron. Then I made torches and stone walls for my project. I added a second room to the structure for villager transportation purposes. It got dark, so I slept. I wasted the next morning trying to figure out a gate design for my project. I decided to use carpets. I finally made chests and cleared out my inventory. Then I crafted a bucket and a stone hoe, and I laid out a basic farm. All I needed now was a composter, and I was done. And finally, I lit up my compound. And it was dark, so I went to bed. First thing day 6, I was attacked by a zombie. I noticed that there was a mob spawner, but there was creepers in the way and I didn't want to deal with that right now. Then I went back to the village. The first thing I did when I got there was attack their golem, and this time I survived without incident. I filled in some holes to protect the villagers. I discovered this little guy stuck in a hole, so I decided to set him free. And he was so excited, he sparkled. I discovered a part of the village that I had previously missed. It had chests with items. What do you know? Then I ran home and planted some potatoes that I had stolen from the village. I did the same with carrots. I crafted a boat. Then I cleaned up my place, and it was late, so I went to bed. On day 7, I went back to the village. I saw their golem, and had to beat him up for posterity's sake. But my axe broke mid-battle, so I had to finish him off by hand. But it was a piece of cake. Then I went back home and started a new crop plot just outside of the villager area I had built. I planted wheat. Night fell, so I went to sleep. Day 8 was spent planting more crops. And I went back to the village to kill their golem. But I was an idiot and forgot to craft a weapon, so I had to do it by hand. On day 9, I was back to farming. But I noticed that the villagers weren't breeding, so I decided to go get some more wool, make more beds, and see if I can get them started. Day 10, I killed the golem again, spread out some more beds, and went back to farming.